everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Mehjabin Fatima, a teacher at Elizabeth High School and Junior College. In our previous class, we have started 8th chapter in social studies, that is trade in agricultural produce, and we have completed part A of that lesson. Now in this class, we are going to finish off that remaining lesson, that is part B. Now let's begin with our class. In the last chapter, we read about some aspects of retail trade, how small traders bring various products to the consumers in the village and towns. In this chapter, we will read about some aspects of wholesale trade in paddy. It is purchased from the farmers by the rice mill owners and big traders who trade in large quantities. Let us see how this is done. Agriculture market yard. Like the Raitu Bazaar, the agriculture market yard is a market run by the government in which farmers can sell their produce and get paid immediately. So, as we have studied in part A, that is Raitu Bazaar. So, in that bazaar, the farmers, they will go and they will sell their goods like fruits and vegetables, etc. So, here also we are having the agricultural market yard where these farmers are selling their produce, and this market is run by the government, and these farmers, they are paid immediately under this market. Chandrasekhar is a farmer from Nalgonda. This year he had a good harvest of about 60 quintals of paddy. He has loaded his paddy bags on a tractor and brought them to Nalgonda AMY. He unloaded his bags and joined the queue for action selling. At about 10 am, the AMY committee members came and put a slip on the bags, including the name of the farmer and the quantity of paddy in quintals. So, at 10 am in the morning, the agriculture market yard committee, committee members, they came and they put a slip on the bags indicating the name of the farmer. So, whoever on that bag, the name will be indicated, and the quantity of paddy is also written on that chit. At about 11 am, wholesale traders and rice mill owners came to the paddy heaps and accessed the quality. So, at about 11 am in the morning, the wholesalers and the rice mill owners, they came to the paddy heaps and they accessed the quality. They checked the quality of that paddy actually. Then the committee members began the action from the first paddy heap of a farmer, since the minimum support price, that is announced by the government, was 1080 per quintal. The committee officials began their action from that price. So, the committee members again, they began to auction the first paddy heap of the farmer. So, they started auctioning the paddy or whatever the produce the farmers, they are bringing to sell that produce. These committee members, they came and they began to auction that produce. As we have studied in part A, that like Raitu Bazaar, there the farmers were coming and they were selling their produce directly to the consumers. But here, according to this agriculture market yard, the farmers, they are coming and they are showing their name and the quantity of the produce which they have bring, and these officials who are the committee members, they will come and they will auction that produce. Let's see what is minimum support price. Every year, the government announces the minimum support price for various crops like paddy and wheat, taking into consideration the cost of inputs. If no trader is willing to buy at a higher price, the government agencies like the Food Corporation of India buy the produce from the farmer at the minimum support price. So, every year the government, it is announcing the minimum support price for various crops like paddy, wheat, and taking into the consideration the cost of the inputs. And if no trader is willing, means if there is no trader who is willing to buy those produce at a higher rate, then the government agencies, they will only buy the produce from the farmer at the minimum support rate. In this way, the government ensure the farmers get at least the minimum price of their produce. Of course, the farmers are free to sell the produce at higher prices. So, firstly, the farmers, they are freely to sell their produce at the higher price. But if again the traders, they are not willing to buy those produce at that rate which is offered by the farmers, then the government will take that produce at the rate which is fixed by the government, that is minimum support rate, we can say. In the auctions, bids are called for the paddy being auctioned. Bids are prices at which the buyer, here the trader, wishes to buy the produce. So, in the auction, they are the bids which are called for the paddy being auctioned. So, for the paddy which is being auctioned, the bids are there, and these bids are the prices at which the buyer wishes to buy the produce. So every buyer, whoever is willing to buy those produce, he will lay a bid or he will call out his bid. After a trader makes a bid, the AMY committee official counts slowly up to 3. If another trader makes a higher bid before the count of 3, the auction progresses until no one has a higher bid. So I hope you all know about the auction, how the auction is being held, how the bids are called, like that. So here also it's same. They will keep the produce at one place and they will inform all the members who are present there about the minimum support price, and if the person who are willing to buy those produce, they have to play the bids or they have to call out their own bids, and whoever bid is highest, they will call out that bid for 3 times and that produce will be go to him if another person will not play a bid. Once the count up to 3 is completed, no higher bid will be allowed. So they will call out up to 3 times, and after that no one is allowed to bid for the higher price. Several traders and mill agents have crowded near Chandrasekhar paddy. They found that this paddy was dry and had very little thalu, ill-filled grains. So several traders and mill agents, they have crowded near the Chandrasekhar's paddy. Chandrasekhar is another farmer, and several traders and rice mill agents, they have been crowded nearby his farm, and where they found that paddy was dry and had very little thalu, that is ill-filled grain. When the auction began, the traders and rice mill agents raised the price considering the quality of the paddy. So according to the quality of the produce also the bids will be there. Like if the quality of the produce is less, then according to that only the range will be fixed. Here also same is happening. Considering the quality of the paddy, Chandrasekhar's got the highest price on that day. For that is rupees 1150 per quintal, offered by the big rice mill agent. So according to the quality, this Chandrasekhar, who is another farmer, he got rupees 1150 per quintal. So as his paddy was very dry and had a little thalu, that is ill-filled grain. So according to the quality, here he got his price. Many other farmers got only rupees 1100 per quintal for their paddy. So here only Chandrasekhar has got the highest price, that is 1150 per quintal, as his quality of paddy was very good, and other farmers, they got only 1100 because their quality of that paddy was less when compared to Chandrasekhar's paddy. Agriculture Market Committee officials noted down the prices bid by different traders for the paddy heaps. They went back to the office and noted down the names of the traders and slip numbers and informed Chandrasekhar of the maximum rate bid by the trader for his paddy. He agreed to sell, and the committee members noted down the rate, quantity of paddy and the total amount to be paid by the trader on a slip and give it to him. So Agriculture Market Yard Committee officials, they have noted down the prices, and whichever the price is high and whoever trader is willing to buy this paddy and whose price is very much high, they have noted down their names along with the price on which they are ready to buy those paddies. And again these members or these officials, they went back to the farmers and they have shown them about their price or about the names of the traders who are willing to buy those paddy at that particular price. So when the farmers, they are ready to sell their produce at that rate, then they will be paid according to the price. And these officials, they have given the slip to the farmers on which it is written the name of the trader and the price which is fixed by the trader or which is the highest bid by the trader. If the farmer is not interested in selling at the maximum price bid by the trader, he or she can wait for the next day or up to 1 week. So if the farmer, he is not ready to sell his produce at that rate which is bid by the traders, then he or she can wait for next week again or next day to sell his produce. So here these farmers, they are not forced to sell their produce. Here they can sell their produce according to their wish. If they wish to sell their produce at that particular rate which is fixed by the trader, then they can sell, or otherwise they cannot sell, or they can wait for the next day or for the next week to sell their produce. In order to buy paddy from agriculture market yard, each trader is required to pay a license fee. So in order to sell their paddy to agriculture market yard, each trader they has to pay the license fee. When paddy is purchased by them, they are required to pay ₹1 for every 100 rupees of purchase as commission to the committee, and even they has to pay the commission as well. So for every 100 rupees of purchase, they have to pay 1 rupee as a commission to the committee, and all the farmers are not required to pay anything. In practice, they pay rupees 3.50 per every 100 rupees of trading towards unloading, cleaning and maintenance charges. So every farmer, they are not required to pay anything in practice, but they has to pay 3.50 paisa per every 100 rupees for trading towards unloading, cleaning and maintenance. This is deducted by the trader and paid to the agriculture market yard. So this amount is being deducted by the trader and it is paid to the agriculture market yard office. Sometimes farmers selling in agriculture market yard have to spend ₹10 per quintal of agricultural produce towards transport and their charges. So sometimes these farmers, they has to pay ₹10 per quintal of agricultural produce for their transport and for other charges. This is higher than what they pay when they sell in their villages. So this amount is very much higher when they pay and when they sell their produce in the village. The mill agent came to Chandrasekhar, looked at the slip and paid the money deducting the AMY charges. So the mill agent, he came near to the Chandrasekhar farmer and he looked at the slip. He checked the slip on which it was written the name of the trader and the price at which this Chandrasekhar is ready to sell his produce, and he paid the money to the Chandrasekhar by deducting the agriculture market yard charges. Farmers like Chandrasekhar who have sufficient quantity prefer to sell the produce in agriculture market yards. Normally there is neither a delay in payment nor deduction of charges for on the spot payment as in the village. So farmers like Chandrasekhar, as they are having the sufficient quantity, they prefer to sell their produce at agriculture market yard committee, and where there is no delay for the payment and not deduction as well. Since the sale is done by open auction, farmers have a chance of getting the best price possible. In some agriculture market yards, corrupt officials and traders join hands to give lower prices to the farmers, but this may not necessarily happen everywhere. So as this is open auction, we can say here the farmers are getting chance to sell their produce at the best price, as there is a bid, as there is a auction. And even in some agriculture market yards corrupts, there will be corrupt officials and traders who will join their hands and who will not pay the farmers according to the quantity of their produce. So it is not necessarily to be happen everywhere, but somewhere, but at some places it might happen. There are nearly 100 agriculture market yards in Telangana. Nearly 1/4 of farm products are traded in them. Where do you think the rest is sold? Why don't those farmers come to the agriculture market yards? Come, let's find out. So there are nearly 100 agriculture market yards in our state, that is Telangana, and nearly 1/4 of farm products are traded. Only 1/4 of farm products are traded over there, and why the rest are not being sold here? So for the reason why these farmers, they are not coming to the agriculture market yard to sell their produce, why they are not coming? So let's find out the reason behind it. Selling to a rice miller. It was paddy harvesting season and Malayya from Venkatapuram village was waiting for the Gumasta of Chandulal, the owner of a rice mill. So it was the season of the paddy in which paddy was being harvested, and Malayya from Venkatapuram, he is also a farmer who is from Venkatapuram village, and he was waiting for the Gumasta, that is the clerk of Chandulal, and here Chandulal is the owner of a rice mill. Malayya was able to harvest only 14 quintals of paddy from his 1 acre of irrigated land. His yield was low as he was not able to use the required amount of fertilizers and pesticides. So Mallayya, he had harvested only 14 quintals of paddy in that year, as he was having 1 acre of land, but due to scarcity of fertilizers and pesticides, he was not able to harvest that much amount of paddy. Only he was able to harvest 14 quintals of paddy in his 1 acre of irrigated land. The Gumasta sent by Chandulal came with a tractor and checked if the paddy was dry and if there is too much and if there was too much thalu. So the Gumasta, who is the clerk of Chandulal, he came near to the Mallayya and he checked whether the paddy was dry and if there was too much thalu or not. And this Gumasta, he came with a tractor. The Gumasta got the paddy bags loaded on his tractor and went to get paddy bags from other such farmers. So this Gumasta, who is the clerk of Chandulal, he loaded these paddy bags into his tractor and he went to the other farmers to take their paddy bags as well. In the rice mill, Mallayya's paddy bags were weighted. It was 14 quintals. Gumasta took a handful of sample paddy and showed it to Chandulal. Chandulal fixed the price of paddy at rupees 950 per quintal on the basis of its dryness and thalu. So, in the rice mill, this Mallayya, he bring the paddy bags from different farmers and he have. So, in the rice mill, this clerk or Gumasta, who took all the paddy bags from the different farmers and he went to the Chandulal, and here he showed Chandulal and he weighted the paddy bags of Mallayya and other farmers, and after weighting, the Mallayya paddy bag was about 14 quintals, and this Chandulal, he fixed the price of paddy at rupees 950 per quintal on the basis of the dryness and thalu. So, on the basis of quantity of Mallayya's paddy, the amount is being fixed by the rice mill trader here. This was much below rupees 1100, the price at the agriculture market yard. Since Mallayya needed money urgently, he asked for immediate payment. For that, Chandulal reduced rupees 1 rupees 50 paise for every 100 rupees. This is the procedure followed by every rice miller and paddy trader in Nalgonda. So, here this Mallayya, he got below rupees 1100 the price at the agriculture market yard, and as Mallayya was in serious need of money, he asked the Chandulal to pay his payment as early as possible, and this Chandulal, he has deducted 1 rupees 50 paisa for every 100 as he was paying the money urgently to Mallayya, and this is the procedure which is followed by every rice miller and paddy trader in Nalgonda district. 4 months back, Mallayya borrowed rupees 5,000 from Chandulal on the condition that the paddy must be sold to him at the price fixed by him. Many small farmers borrowed money from Chandulal on similar terms. So 4 months back, this Mallayya, he has borrowed rupees 5,000 from Chandulal on the condition that paddy will be sold to him at the price which is fixed by him. So as Mallayya was in need of money, so he asked this Chandulal or the rice mill trader to give him 5,000 rupees, and whatever the price will be fixed by this Chandulal will be accepted by this Mallayya to sell those paddy bags. And many small farmers, they have also borrowed the money from Chandulal on the same terms. Hence, they are forced to sell their products to him at the price which is fixed by him. So, here as they have taken the loan from Chandulal, so the price will be fixed by Chandulal here. So, these farmers, they have agreed to sell their produce at whatever the price which is fixed by this Chandulal. So, same was happening. So, instead of paying Mallayya the amount due to him, Chandulal deducted the amount borrowed along with the interest. So, here what Chandulal has done, as Mallayya has taken loan from Chandulal before harvesting the paddy, that is 5,000. So, Chandulal here, he has deducted the amount which is borrowed by the Mallayya, and along with the interest he has deducted the amount. Now, because of this, Mallayya has faced a great loss. Farmers like Mallayya in Telangana borrow from rice mill owners and other money lenders on which or rich landlords and are forced to sell the produce to them at a lower price. So, there are other farmers in Telangana like Mallayya who will borrow the money from the traders or rice mill owners, and the amount whichever is fixed by these traders, these farmers will sell at that price. They may also be cheated in weighting and rating of the paddy. So these traders, they may also cheat these farmers in weighting and rating of that produce. Rice mill owners, by lending money to the farmers and are not only assured of raw materials for their mills but also get it at a fixed price by them. So rice mill owners, they will lend the money to the farmers and they are assured that the raw materials for the rice mill will also get at a price which is fixed by those rice mill owners. Big farmers or landlords of Venkatapuram lend money to small farmers and purchase paddy from them. They sell their own harvest and all that is procured from other farmers in agriculture market yard, town based wholesale paddy merchants or in rice mills. Big farmers or landlords of Venkatapuram, they lend money to the small farmers and they purchase paddy from these small farmers and they sell their own harvest and it is procured from other farmers in agriculture market yard, town based wholesale paddy merchant or in rice mills. Farmers are indebted to landlords in many ways. They borrowed money, seed, tractor, even water. So these farmers, they are indebted to the landlords or these traders as they are borrowing money or tractors or seed, etc. and accept whatever they pay, and on the terms of the price whichever is fixed by these owners, they will accept those terms and they are ready to sell their produce at that particular price as they were having no choice. Those who give loans to farmers look at the harvest as a security for the loan, as they can purchase the produce from the farmers and recover the loan amount. So those whoever are giving loan to these farmers, they are assured with the security for the loan, and as they can purchase the produce from the farmers and they can recover the amount whichever is given by them. Tragically, in this way the farmers are not able to sell their produce at the highest price possible. So tragically here we can say that these farmers, they are facing difficulty or they are not getting paid as much as they are working to get the produce. They are getting the less payment and they are working very hard to get the produce. Since these landlords or the rice mill traders, they are taking those produce at a particular price which is fixed by them. Let's see how the selling is done through brokers. Shanti is another farmer residing in Venkatapuram. She began to manage her farm after her husband passed away. She is a member of a local self-help group from which she borrowed rupees 20,000 for cultivation purpose. So Shanti is the name of another farmer and she is from Venkatapuram. She began to work in the farm or she began to manage her farm when her husband passed away, and she is the member of local self-help group, and from local self-help groups she has borrowed 20,000 rupees for cultivation purpose. Her harvest from her 1.5 acres was 14 quintals. She wanted to sell 7 quintals and keep the rest for household consumption. So her harvest from 1.5 acres of land was 14 quintals and she would sell 7 quintals, and from that 14 quintals she is ready to sell 7 quintals and the rest she is keeping for herself or for her household consumption. The next day, a broker of a big rice mill in Nalgonda came to the village to buy paddy and approached the farmers. He saw Shanti's paddy and after much bargaining offered her rupees 1,000 per quintal. He weighed the bags and said that it was 6.5 quintals. Shanti was shocked because when she weighed them it was 7 quintals. So she insisted on weighing it properly in the presence of other SHG members. This time it turned out to be 7 quintals. So the next day there is a broker, he came to the village and he was from the big rice mill which is in Nalgonda, and he came to the village and he approached to buy the paddy from different farmers, and when he saw Shanti's paddy, after much bargaining he offered her rupees 1,000 per quintal, and when he weighted the bag of Shanti's paddy, he told her that her weighted paddy is 6.5 quintals But Shanti was shocked here, as when she weighed those bags, she found that it was 7 quintals. So again she insisted this broker to weigh those bags in front of SHG members, and it was 7 quintals at this time. When this broker he weighted those paddy bags in front of SHG members. The broker took the paddy and promised to pay the amount in 15 days. 2 weeks later he paid rupees 6,825. He had deducted rupees 25 per quintal as his brokerage or commission. So this broker he again took the paddy and promised Shanti that he will pay the amount in 15 days, and after 2 weeks he paid her rupees 6,825 and he had deducted rupees 25 per quintal as his brokerage or commission. We met Shanti and asked her some questions. You have not borrowed from any trader, why don't you sell in the agriculture market yard? So they went to the Shanti and they asked her questions that why don't she sell there, and they asked her that why don't she sell her produce at the agriculture market yard. To go to Nalgonda, I have to pay the tractor rent and loading and unloading charges. The higher price I get is in agriculture market yard will not cover the transport cost. Moreover, my son or I will have to spare 1 or 2 days for this. We have very little to sell. Only farmers with a lot of paddy go to Nalgonda, Shanti replied. So Shanti replied to them that to go to Nalgonda we need some maintenance charges as well, and we have to spend lots of time and lots of money on loading and unloading these paddy bags, and the highest price I get in agriculture market yard will not cover the transport which I am going to spare on that, and me and my son has to spare our 2 days for this, and we have very little to sell. Only the farmers who are having the big quantity of the paddy, they are going to agriculture market yard and they will sell their produce there. Why don't you ask for a higher price, as most farmers sell at rupees 1100 to 1150 in AMY and in rice mills. So again she is being asked why don't she ask for the higher price, or as most farmers they are selling it at rupees 1100 to 1150 in agriculture market yard or in the rice mills. These brokers don't pay such high prices. We sell their produce from home to avoid the trouble of running around to sell. So these brokers they will not pay the high price. She is replying. She had replied that these brokers don't pay the higher amount and they can sell their produce from their home and they can avoid the trouble of running around to sell. Brokers mediate between farmers and town-based big millers and wholesaler paddy merchants. They produce paddy in small quantities from farmers like Shanti. They don't have permanent shops or go-downs for doing their business. They visit each farmer during harvest season and negotiate with them to buy paddy. They collect sufficient amount of paddy and inform the wholesale traders, rice mill owners, who then send money and vehicles for transportation. So these brokers they play the mediator role between the traders and these farmers. So they will come to these farmers and they will offer their price to these farmers, and these farmers they when they accept the price which is offered by these brokers, they will sell their produce. And these brokers, as they don't have any go downs or shops where they can store this paddy, so these brokers will come to the season at which this paddy will be harvested. So in that season only they will come and they offer these farmers to sell their produce, and the wholesale traders and rice mill owners they will pay for the transportation, and these brokers they will get their commission or brokerage. They charge commission from both the farmers and the millers. Some of them function as money lenders too. So they deduct the borrowed amount with interest while paying the farmers, as we have seen in the case of Chandulal. So these brokers they will get commission from both the sides, from farmer side and from the rice mill owner side, and these brokers sometimes they will give the loan to the farmers and they will deduct that loan along with the interest while receiving the amount of paddy or amount of produce from that farmers, as we have seen in the case of Chandulal. Now let's see trading paddy in Telangana. Paddy cultivated in Telangana is mostly sold in the market and farmers keep only a small share for their own use. A considerable amount of paddy produced by small farmers like Shanti is used for their own consumption. Large farmers sell most of their produce in the markets. So paddy, it is cultivated in Telangana and mostly sold in the market, and farmers, they will keep their produce for their own consumption also, like we saw in Shanti's case. And the large farmers, they will sell their most of the produce to the market. Telangana farmers sell nearly 3/4 of their harvest within the village and 1/4 in agriculture market yard. Big farmers sell their harvest in agriculture market yards. They own vehicles like tractors which reduce their transportation expenses. So in Telangana, most of the farmers, they are selling nearly 3/4 of their harvest within the village and 1/4 in agriculture market yard, whereas the big farmers from Telangana, they will sell their harvest in agriculture market yard as they own their vehicles, so there is no transportation charges for them. It will take little amount for the maintenance of those vehicles. In villages, many kinds of traders such as landlords, brokers and small rice mill owners procure paddy. On most occasions, small farmers like Malaya and Chandrasekhar are bound to sell only to these traders as they borrow money from them. So in villages, many kinds of traders such as landlords and brokers and rice mill owners, they will procure paddy. On the most occasions, the small farmers like Malaya and Chandrasekhar, they are bound to sell their produce only to the traders and they borrow money from them as they have borrowed money from them. Indebted and selling paddy. We saw that small and medium farmers have to borrow money for agriculture, especially to purchase seeds, fertilizers, pesticides and irrigation facilities. Since it is difficult for them to get loans from banks, they are forced to borrow from money lenders, traders, millers, etc. So as we have seen in part A also and in part B also, these farmers, they has to borrow a large amount of money from the money lenders as they cannot afford for the seed or for the pesticides or for fertilizers, etc. and for irrigation facility also. So as they cannot afford the price as they cannot afford that much price, so they have to borrow the money from these money lenders, and on the basis on the terms of this, they has to sell their produce at whatever the price which is fixed by these money lenders or the rice mill owners. So they are forced here. Once a farmer borrows from them, he or she has no option but to sell the procure only to them at the price they offer. Paddy traders not only pay lower prices but also cheat in weighing. Moreover, they take commissions of various kinds. Many of these farmers get delayed payments. So even these farmers, they are getting cheated by these brokers as well, and these brokers, they are cheating these farmers in different ways, such as in weighing or by paying the lower price to them, and even they are taking commission from the farmers also, and many farmers, they will get delayed payments also. Since these traders and landlords lend money in desperate times, farmers have to sell their paddy to them, and these traders, they are lending money in desperate times, means at the time at which farmer is seriously in need of money, at that time only these traders, they are lending them money, and the farmers, they don't have any choice but to sell their paddy at whatever the price which is fixed by this money lenders. So this was all about agriculture. So this was all about trade in agricultural produce. Here in this chapter, we have seen how these farmers, they are facing the difficulties in their life in selling their produce, and even they have to sell their produce at the lower prices, or even they are getting cheated by these brokers or money lenders in different ways. I hope you understood this lesson very well. We will continue next chapter in next class. Thank you.